شرکت بین‌المللی IBC در کالیفرنیا همراه با شرکت شیکاگولند برای افغانان محترمی که در هر نقطه جهان خصوصاً افغانستان به سر میبرند اعلان می‌دارند. دریافت گرین کارت از طریق سرمایه گذاری، پروگرام تایید شده توسط حکومت امریکا و دفتر مهاجرت امریکا. اگر می خواهید گرین کارت خود و فامیلتان را در ظرف 6 ماه الی 12 ماه به دست آورید، اگر می خواهید اطفال شما از تحصیلات عالی امریکا برخوردار گردند، اگر می خواهید با فامیل خیش در هر ایالت امریکا که خواسته باشید زندگی کنید، لطفاً با تلفن های زائل به تماس شوید. در کالیفرنیا IBC فیلم با مدیریت زکی احمدی، در شیکاگولند دکتر طاهر کاملی و در دبی شرکت ایست وست. دریافت گرین کارت از طریق پروگرام لاتری یا قرعه‌کشی. بیایید بخت خود را بیازماییم. 50,000 برنده گرین کارت در امریکا هر سال. به امریکا بیایید، کار کنید و آینده خود و فامیلتان را تأمین نمایید. دفتر ما به شما اطمینان می دهد که فرم های شما به طور درست و بدون هیچ نوع اشتباه با اسرع وقت تهیه و به مراجع مربوطه سپرده می شود. سمینار پروگرام EB5 یا دریافت گرین کارت از طریق سرمایه گذاری در شهر دبی در ماه جولای 2012 برگزار می گردد. برای معلومات بیشتر و جهت ثبت نام در این سمینار لطفاً با زکی احمدی به شماره تلفن 888 515 9995 تماس حاصل فرمایید. afghanistangreencard.com.
شرکت بین المللی IBC در کالیفرنیا همراه با شرکت شیکاگولند برای افغانان محترمی که در دبی و افغانستان به سر میبرند اعلان می‌دارد. دریافت گرین کارت از طریق سرمایه گذاری، پروگرام تایید شده توسط حکومت امریکا و دفتر مهاجرت امریکا. نظر به تقاضای هموطنان عزیز، شرکت ما سمینار را در مورد دریافت گرین کارت به تاریخ 18 جولای در رستوران شایسته شهر دبی برگزار می نماید. علاقمندان این پروگرام به خصوص تاجران افغانی ما می توانند برای ثبت نام با زکی احمدی مشاور ایمیگریشن امریکا در JW مریات دبی از تاریخ 13 الی 21 جولای با شماره زائل به تماس شوند.
قابل توجه هموطنان بزرگسال و نیازمندان طبی که در مناطق اورنج کاونتی، لس آنجلس کاونتی، ریورساید کاونتی به سر میبرند و دارای مدیکال و مدیکیر هستند. تداوی و پرستاری در منزل شما. اگر می خواهید درد پاها، درد کمر و درد شانه هایتان کاهش پیدا کند، اگر در فعالیت های روزمره تان از قبیل شاور گرفتن، صفایی خانه، آماده کردن غذا و خدمات ترانسپورتی نیاز به کمک دارید، لطفاً با دفتر ما به تماس شوید. شرکت ما با فرستادن نرس ها و پرستاران ورزیده، حرفوی و همزبان شما در منازلتان این زمینه را بدون هیچ نوع مصرف از جانب شما برایتان مساعد می سازد. جهت معلومات بیشتر لطفاً با شماره تلفن 949 600 0190 تماس بگیرید.
شرکت بین المللی IBC در کالیفرنیا همراه با شرکت شیکاگولند برای افغانان محترمی که در دبی و افغانستان به سر میبرند اعلان می‌دارد. دریافت گرین کارت از طریق سرمایه گذاری، پروگرام تایید شده توسط حکومت امریکا و دفتر مهاجرت امریکا. نظر به تقاضای هموطنان عزیز، شرکت ما سمینار را در مورد دریافت گرین کارت به تاریخ 18 جولای در رستوران شایسته شهر دبی برگزار می نماید. علاقمندان این پروگرام به خصوص تاجران افغانی ما می توانند برای ثبت نام با زکی احمدی، مشاور ایمیگریشن امریکا در JW مریات دبی از تاریخ 13 الی 21 جولای به شماره زیل به تماس شوند.
شرکت بین‌المللی IBC در کالیفرنیا همراه با شرکت شیکاگولند برای افغانان محترمی که در هر نقطه جهان خصوصاً افغانستان به سر میبرند اعلان می‌دهند. دریافت گرین کارت از طریق سرمایه گذاری، پروگرام تایید شده توسط حکومت امریکا و دفتر مهاجرت امریکا. اگر می خواهید گرین کارت خود و فامیلتان را در ظرف 6 ماه الی 12 ماه به دست آورید، اگر می خواهید اطفال شما از تحصیلات عالی امریکا برخوردار گردند، اگر می خواهید با فامیل خیش در هر ایالت امریکا که خواسته باشید زندگی کنید، لطفاً با تلفن های زیل به تماس شوید. در کالیفرنیا IBC فیلم با مدیریت زکی احمدی، در شیکاگولند دکتر طاهر کاملی و در دبی شرکت ایست وست.
A beautiful, loving family is tested by a tragic accident. Hear now from Tara Newby, a Farmer's Life customer and beneficiary, as she describes how the couple's preparation and the assistance of their insurance agent helped the family prepare for such a loss.
Well, my husband, Preston Newby, was an amazing man. Well, our family was Preston, myself, and our little boy, Jacob, and he's 22 months now. And we found out in the summertime that we were pregnant with our second little boy. We first met at Bible College in Saskatchewan, Canada, in the middle of nowhere, and he's just a humble guy. We slowly got to know each other through passing in the halls, and he really did sweep me off my feet. Preston was an incredible father. He was always family first. Before anything, it was family first. Second to family, Preston deeply valued church. God was number one in his life, and that showed in his family, it showed in his church ministry. It wasn't just a job, it was a passion. He put everybody else first. It didn't matter if it was fixing a broken lamp in the church or counseling somebody who was going through something really rough. He just wanted to serve other people. He was truly my dream man. We got referred to our agent, Jerry Braun, from a friend that I had worked with.
Preston came into my office on a given day, and we sat down, and he was interested in auto insurance.
Jerry mentioned the idea of life insurance.
We made up a couple of proposals, and he took it home to his wife, Tara. They talked things over, and shortly thereafter, we put in force 2 policies, one for each of them.
Preston really saw the value in getting life insurance because if anything did happen, we could stay home with our kids. I had talked on the phone with a girl from our cell phone company, and she was actually a single mother. I said to her, "Single mothers, I admire you because I don't know how you do it. I'm amazed." I said, "I couldn't imagine." And little did I know that that night, that would be my fate as well. We talked in the car, And it was one of those times where you just fall more in love with each other. Moments later, all the cars began to stop in front of us. And so we veered to the right, and he got out, ran across the road, and as I could see, was talking to the people in the car. And then he ran back and said, "They don't have a cell phone, we have to call 911 because one of them is bleeding." I turned around, I was looking at him, and then I just turned back, and it was by the grace of God that I missed what happened next. A car came really fast and hit Preston. I heard a scream, and I turned around, and I did not see Preston there anymore, and I knew that he had been hit. I just knew, and I had flip-flops on, and they came off right away, and I ran across the road in my bare feet, and Preston was laying there, and his eyes were closed, and I just held him, and I cried out to God, and I said, "You can't take him now." I said, "He has so much more work to do." And I knew I couldn't do anything, and so I sang to him, and I prayed with him, and he wasn't responding, but I knew these were our last moments together, and what do you do? So I just sang and prayed and cried, and I was in shock.
And that day, I had received an email from Tara Newby, and she had told me that her husband had been killed in a car accident.
It's something that most people in their 20s don't get. Life insurance is such a valuable product to get, and I don't even view it as a product, it's a necessity.
There's so many objections that you face in your agency. Don't let your own objections to selling this product get in the way of presenting it to people.
I hope that agents can let their clients see the value and the importance of this. I hope that they can see through my story how dear to my heart that life insurance truly is because of what it means for my future. It's been incredible for us. Today, my life is far different than it was before, but it still has joy in it. My mom has been so wonderful, and she's come from Canada to stay with me and helps with Jacob. She'll be here when the new baby arrives to help me, and she has that maternal instinct that is wonderful. And the church family has been amazing. They have helped out, they have brought us meals, they have shown us love and support through phone calls and friendship and girls' nights. I am taken care of, and I am loved, and I am so thankful for all the love and support I do have from our church family and from our immediate family.
No amount of money can replace a loved one, but life insurance can ease the burden on those left behind. Don't leave your family's future to chance alone. Take the time to review your life insurance needs with your Farmers agent.
دریافت گرین کارت از طریق پروگرام لاتری یا قرعه کشی. بیایید بخت خود را بیازماییم. 50,000 برنده گرین کارت در امریکا هر سال. به امریکا بیایید، کار کنید و آینده خود و فامیلتان را تأمین نمایید. دفتر ما به شما اطمینان می دهد که فرم های شما به طور درست و بدون هیچ نوع اشتباه با اسرع وقت تهیه و به مراجع مربوطه سپرده می شود. سمینار پروگرام EB5 یا دریافت گرین کارت از طریق سرمایه گذاری در شهر دوبای در ماه جولای 2012 برگزار می گردد. برای معلومات بیشتر و جهت ثبت نام در این سمینار لطفاً با زکی احمدی به شماره تلفن 888 515 9995 تماس حاصل فرمایید. AfghanistanGreenCard.com. قابل توجه هموطنان بزرگسال و نیازمندان طبی که در مناطق اورنج کاونتی، لس آنجلس کاونتی، ریورساید کاونتی به سر میبرند و دارای مدیکال و مدیکر هستند. تداوی و پرستاری در منزل شما. اگر می خواهید درد پاها، درد کمر و درد شانه هایتان کاهش پیدا کند، اگر در فعالیت های روزمره تان از قبیل شاور گرفتن، صفایی خانه، آماده کردن غذا و خدمات ترانسپورتی نیاز به کمک دارید، لطفاً با دفتر ما به تماس شوید. شرکت ما با فرستادن نرس ها و پرستاران ورزیده، حرفوی و هفت زبان شما در منازلتان این زمینه را بدون هیچ نوع مصرف از جانب شما برایتان مساعد می سازد. جهت معلومات بیشتر لطفاً با شماره تلفن 949 600 0190 تماس بگیرید.
شرکت بین المللی IBC در کالیفرنیا همراه با شرکت شیکاگولند برای افغانان محترمی که در دبی و افغانستان به سر میبرند اعلان می‌دارد. دریافت گرین کارت از طریق سرمایه گذاری، پروگرام تایید شده توسط حکومت امریکا و دفتر مهاجرت امریکا. نظر به تقاضای هموطنان عزیز، شرکت ما سمینار را در مورد دریافت گرین کارت به تاریخ 18 جولای در رستوران شایسته شهر دبی برگزار می نماید. علاقمندان این پروگرام به خصوص تاجران افغانی ما می توانند برای ثبت نام با زکی احمدی مشاور ایمیگریشن امریکا در JW مریات دبی از تاریخ 13 الی 21 جولای به شماره زیل به تماس شوند.
So much of herself to her friends, to her family. She was that kid that even though she might have been sitting at the right table in the lunchroom, when she saw people that were sitting by themselves, and I've heard so many stories about kids where she would go over and just sit with them and say, hey, what's going on? I mean, she was a giver. She gave of herself. She has impacted people really all over the country and the world that have reached out to us. She was able to help 5 people. She saved lives and she gave sight to one person. Taylor is a hero to a lot. She is a wonderful example of how you can do while living, and she continues to do with what we call Taylor's gift.
I met Todd Storch through an organization called NAFA Dallas. We've known each other 16 years, and he asked me to help him on a golf tournament committee to help him with the charity golf tournament that we did every year.
Scott and I got to meet each other when we were working on a golf tournament together and just became good friends. And Scott one day asked me, just, let's talk about your family. Let's talk about what your goals are.
When he bought his home, he said, I'm going to go on ahead and let you be my insurance professional. And I promised him that I would continue to review things with him as him and his family grew and as their needs changed.
I knew that when Tara and I got married that there needed to be some protection in case the worst would happen, and it started with just with a couple of whole life policies, one on myself, one for my wife in case anything happened to either one of us, and then as my family grew, so did my needs. I remember Scott broaching the idea of life insurance on my kids, and I remember sitting there thinking, why in the world do I need life insurance on my kids?
Todd and Tara had their first daughter, Taylor, and I went to their house after she was born and actually held her, and as their friend, I wanted to make sure that I let them know how happy I was for them.
My family was on a spring break trip, and it was a spring break trip this year, and it was the first time the whole family had gone skiing. So we went up to Beavers Creek, just outside of Vail. My two daughters were in ski school, and I remember when we picked them up from ski school afterwards that afternoon, that the ski instructor looked at me and said, Taylor's never skied before, and Taylor's my oldest daughter. I said, no, this is her first time, and she said, I never seen a kid ski as well as her. She was running circles around these 16 and 17-year-old kids. She's a natural athlete. We were all going to go on the family run before the list closed, and Tara was cold. My youngest daughter, Peyton, had enough skiing that day, and so we went on the last run, and unfortunately there was an accident, and from that accident, we lost Taylor, and so what went from probably the best family vacation we've ever taken turned into just a really, a tragic situation.
I found out from a phone call from Todd's best friend, Matt Sunshine, that Taylor died in a ski accident while the family was vacationing. It was an incredibly disturbing experience for me. Had to gather myself. I spoke with my staff about it, let them know I was a little shook up, and that we had to help them. And that was what we had to do.
And with the loss of Taylor to our family, we're trying to get by day. And as the husband and father, I'm trying to do everything that I can to provide for the family, emotionally and spiritually. And it's been very, 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 very tough. And those words don't even begin to describe the depth of what that means.
Losing Taylor, losing any girl, reminded me of my own. And it's a really difficult thing to deal with on a professional level, much less from a friend. I called my wife. She helped me. We sent them something and our condolences. And then I let Todd know that I was here for him and that we would do anything we could for his family. It was really difficult. Several weeks later, Todd and I decided to meet for a Frappuccino at a local coffee shop and just talk. I wanted to find out what he was doing and how his family was, and he wanted to thank me. He talked about how important it was that we had that conversation years ago to put life insurance in place for his children.
Looking back on that now, it was a wonderful thing that Scott brought up to me. Of course, it was it's a business transaction, but it actually helped our family in the most amazing of ways.
He started a foundation for Taylor called Taylor's Gifts, and it was created to educate others on organ donation and encourage them to help, because that is the gift of life.
The things that we are working to give back is similar to what she did in her own life, and we're starting with helping increase organ donation because there's a huge need for that, and we think that through our foundation, Taylor's Gift, that we can definitely help with that because Taylor continues to give back, and we want to honor her that way.
شرکت بین‌المللی IBC در کالیفرنیا همراه با شرکت شیکاگولند برای افغانان محترمی که در هر نقطه جهان خصوصاً افغانستان به سر میبرند اعلان می‌دارند. دریافت گرین کارت از طریق سرمایه گذاری، پروگرام تایید شده توسط حکومت امریکا و دفتر مهاجرت امریکا. اگر می خواهید گرین کارت خود و فامیلتان را در ظرف 6 ماه الی 12 ماه به دست آورید، اگر می خواهید اطفال شما از تحصیلات عالی امریکا برخوردار گردند، اگر می خواهید با فامیل خیش در هر ایالت امریکا که خواسته باشید زندگی کنید، لطفاً با تلفن های زائل به تماس شوید. در کالیفرنیا IBC فیلم با مدیریت زکی احمدی، در شیکاگولند دکتر طاهر کاملی و در دبی شرکت ایست وست.
شرکت بین المللی IBC در کالیفرنیا همراه با شرکت شیکاگولند برای افغانان محترمی که در دبی و افغانستان به سر میبرند اعلان می‌دارد. دریافت گرین کارت از طریق سرمایه گذاری، پروگرام تایید شده توسط حکومت امریکا و دفتر مهاجرت امریکا. نظر به تقاضای هموطنان عزیز، شرکت ما سمینار را در مورد دریافت گرین کارت به تاریخ 18 جولای در رستوران شایسته شهر دبی برگزار می نماید. علاقمندان این پروگرام به خصوص تاجران افغانی ما می توانند برای ثبت نام با زکی احمدی مشاور امیگریشن امریکا در JW مریات دبی از تاریخ 13 الی 21 جولای با شماره زائل به تماس شوند.
دریافت گرین کارت از طریق پروگرام لاتری یا قرعه‌کشی. بیایید بخت خود را بیازماییم. 50,000 برنده گرین کارت در امریکا هر سال. به امریکا بیایید، کار کنید و آینده خود و فامیلتان را تأمین نمایید. دفتر ما به شما اطمینان می دهد که فرم های شما به طور درست و بدون هیچ نوع اشتباه با اسرع وقت تهیه و به مراجع مربوطه سپرده می شود. سمینار پروگرام EB5 یا دریافت گرین کارت از طریق سرمایه گذاری در شهر دبی در ماه جولای 2012 برگزار می گردد. برای معلومات بیشتر و جهت ثبت نام در این سمینار لطفاً با زکی احمدی به شماره تلفن 888 515 9995 تماس حاصل فرمایید. afghanistangreencard.com